I saw a video of you talking about it on the web, and you were talking about three principles: that you have to be creative, and if you could mention the two other principles.
I have my Shanghai principle, they call Shanghai principle, because I have them in Shanghai. But the first principle is everybody is creative. I don't mean everybody's talented or clever or skillful, just they have the ability to develop their own ideas. And they have they have a passion to develop their own ideas. I mean, children are the most creative people on the planet. We actually peak at creativity when we're aged about 3 or 4, actually. It's sort of downhill from then on. In terms of raw creativity, open, unembarrassed creativity, that's what kids do. So the first principle is everybody's born creative. The second is that creativity needs freedom. We need freedom to express ourselves, to bring our ideas out to other people. We need freedom. We don't want censorship. We don't want hostile communities. We don't want political, economic barriers. We want to be free. We want to be free to bring our ideas out and to share them. And the third principle is that freedom also has to be expressed in markets. We need markets. We need markets that are open and fair and efficient. So we need to not only talk about our ideas, but to put them in the marketplace with a price tag so people can buy them, buying and selling. What I'm talking about is not just creativity, I'm talking about the economy. And that consists of buying and selling. A lot of people just talk about making, and that's it. I talk about selling as well.
So we are all capable of producing those ideas, of being creative.
We are capable of having ideas within our own private imagination. We dream, we fantasize, we do that a lot. We want to be able to express ourselves. But that's not enough. You have to learn how to express yourself in a particular format. Whatever it is you're doing, whether you're making television or film or jewelry or design or fashion or product, whatever it is, you've got to learn the skill of that particular format, how to do that format well.
How do we transform those ideas into business?
Well, then you have to make a product and service that the market wants. So you start with ideas, we all start with ideas that are interesting to ourselves, we find interesting, fascinating, important. And then we have to make a judgment about whether those ideas are going to be interesting and also important and desirable in the marketplace. So it's a continual tension, if you like, between what we want to do, what we find interesting, and what we think the market will accept and buy.
What is the difference between creative economy and the conventional economy?
The conventional economy is, at the heart of it, it is making, in a repetitive way, utilitarian goods. So like farmers, they make crops, they make mangoes in this city, they make mangoes. And basically the mango is the same every year. And they make it, and it's fine, and it's very, very, and we need it. But it's repetitive and it's utilitarian. Creative economy is making new things, or giving a new image, a new style to things, each one of which is unique.
Could you give me examples of successful creative economies?
Well, they go all the way from writing, music, films, television, through design, through innovation. The internet is continually creative. It is the American version of the internet, followed by the Chinese version of the internet, are two of the most extraordinary creative ecosystems the world has ever seen.
And how about countries with successful creative economies, or cities? Maybe it's better explaining cities, right, around the world?
It is an urban phenomenon. Yeah, the farming is about fields. It's about fields. You need fields for your crops or your stock. You need fields. Mining is about taking stuff out of the ground. But creative economy is about ideas. So you need to go to somewhere where you can refine and process and work with other people, collaborate with other people. You don't know who they're going to be. to define and improve your ideas. So it's an urban phenomenon. So mayors and city administrations are really important. They're not important to the agricultural economy. A little bit, not very much. They're critical to the creative economy.
Okay, I understand you've been traveling in a lot, around the world. You visited a lot of countries. Could you give me like an example of one of those countries where you've seen successful creative economy?
Look at the history of America over the last 100 years. They produced the most astonishing literature, poetry, art, painting. They have taken film, which the French invented, and turned it into the film business. And Hollywood is dominant in the global film business. Everybody wants their own version of Hollywood. Television. The British and the French and the Germans invented television. The Americans made it a hugely successful industry. So in product design, aircraft manufacturing, the iPhone, they took a smartphone and they made it beautiful, desirable. Samsung has never managed to do that. Nokia failed to do that. So look at America. Look at the creativity and innovation coming out of America.
Do you think Puerto Rico has the ability to develop a successful creative economy?
I've met people in Puerto Rico and Mayagüez who are creative and who want to do it. Whether they can or not, we will see over the next 20, 30 years. They certainly want to do it. And there are people who are at school now and at university now and whose parents work in factories and work in fields. And some of them want to do the same, but some of them, they don't. No. They want to work they want to use their imagination and to work in the creative economy. And they want to take part in this world because it's a very international economy. They want to take part in their world. And the more you go to school and the more you go to university, where you're encouraged to use your brain and to ask questions and to have ideas about things, the more you want to go on doing that for the rest of your life.
I think the same applies to our university. I mean, if we can create on a creative economy, we can develop that in our university. I see many so talented students who create projects with their professors, but for the reason, whatever reason, patents or intellectual property laws, they don't turn into businesses. Can we do that?
Well, copyright and patenting shouldn't stop you turning into a business. You don't need infrastructure for copyright. Copyright's automatic. You write something down, it's copyright. It's very simple. Patenting you have to apply, but it's a process that everybody does. And you do it out of Mayagüez in the same way as someone out of Stanford University or Seattle or San Francisco. It's an open process. It's not barred. You are part of America to that extent. So you're able to do that. Now, I think what is lacking here is not the intellectual property law, but just the knowledge of how to run a business based on ideas. So what we have to do here is to turn ideas that people have into businesses. We start small and they will grow bigger.
That's the principle.
That's the principle. You start small, they will go bigger, and they will export, and they will become famous.
Excellent. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.